30 days, I've heard people say a lot of times they spent a month just figuring out what their wedding budget is, how much they need to spend, and just figuring out what are the vendors, what are the people.
Yep.
We want to take those 30 days that you might be spending and turn it into 30 seconds through a simple questionnaire, and then go ahead and see right away your 10, 12, 15 vendors, whatever you got, and find out where you need to put your money. Where does the money need to go? They say most people go over their wedding budget.
Yeah.
And by most, like, it is very close to that 100% mark.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So we want to help people, for one, find out how much realistically do I need to plan to spend.
Yes.
And then what do I do with that money, you know? And if you have leftover money, maybe you're not one of these people who needs to really, really pinch every penny. But, you know, where can that extra money go? And seeing where that is, or, you know, just finding out, what do I need to plan to spend more, and where do I need to plan to spend less?
Yeah.
And we really thought through that. We, you know, thought about why this is important to spend more here, and why this is, you know, this is not as much, you know, and figuring out just all of that goes into what we really wanted to do with this app. So yeah,
Totally, man.
Wedding Day Budget Calculator. It's actually free. No subscriptions.
Completely free.
No gotchas, just free.
Completely free. And Andrew Brumbeloe here is the app developer for this app. He's been working on it since December of 2025. We're constantly working on some updates as well.
And maybe you're just looking at your options. You know, a lot of people, you know, maybe you've stumbled across this video and you're looking for something to help you budget your wedding. You're looking for something to help you save that time, you know, that you need to save. And there's different apps out there that do so many things and do other things well, you know, things that our app doesn't even do.
Oh, yeah.
But we wanted to focus on one thing and do it well.
And
that
it doesn't
was
replace a planner.
Planning your wedding
Please
day.
hire a planner.
Planning the budget.
Because a real planner will help you go way farther than this
Which,
app.
speaking of, too, I think planners have really, you know, even said, too, you know, this is going to be super helpful, you know, because this is helpful for you, so you have some way to show your planner at a glance, you know, where you're at, where they're at, so y'all can be on the same page.
Come on now.
So you guys can work together on this. That was our goal with this, is to help planners and, you know, bride and groom, the couples, they need help figuring out. I know if you had this app back when you were getting married, Carson,
oh, man,
it would have been so different,
it would
right?
have been so different.
Would have saved you a lot of time.
So much time. Oh, my goodness.
Much time, much energy is wasted just finding out things that if only there were an app. So we said, hey, why don't we make an app? I remember you reached out to me in December, Carson. You said, hey, I'm going to make this. I want to make this app. Can we make it happen? I said, let's do it. Why not? So, man, we got to coding right then. I got to coding in December, and we spent a while, man. We spent a while, and it ended up happening quicker than we thought too, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
So
dude, it's up and running.
We really just got going on it, and one idea after another, and then it just got to us really realizing there is a lot of careful thought that goes into this. And even though you've gotten married and you planned your wedding and thought about all the expenses, thought about the things and stuff, there was still so much careful thought and consideration that we hadn't thought of, that you would say you'd never thought about. So, you know, that goes into it. So we really put the extra time and energy, even with experience in getting married and budgeting a wedding. There's so much, especially modern day, you know, maybe when your parents got married or grandparents, you know, things were a certain way. Things are a certain way today.
Oh yeah.
You know, the ways in which people are, you know, what you got to think about, you know, to spend money on and plan and prepare, you know, it's a real thing. And,
absolutely.
you know, and any way you can save money doing it is so important. So, you know, we wanted people to not just save money, but save time, because again, you know, 30 days is a long time to spend preparing. And I've heard that from many people. So instead of 30 days, why not spend 30 seconds?
Come on.
Download Wedding Day Budget Calculator today. Save yourself some time, create a budget, and start filling things in and share with your planner, share with your friends. So this is the app. So we're here with the Wedding Day Budget Calculator app. When you open it for the first time, this will be new here, and you'll be new to the app. You fill out your name. So, you know, in this case, this is my name, but you'll put your name here. And then for email, you just put your email, not what I'm typing, but just your own email. So if it's Gmail, you know, put your gmail.com, .net, whatever it is. And then you'll make a password. So, you know, this is a brand new account y'all are making today. And the goal here is we just want to show you how to go through and do all the stuff. So super simple, you know, and when I'm done, man, I can just save that password. I'm ready for it. If I'm ever logged out, and I just want to log back in, Face ID, and boom, Face ID. So as soon as you go in, and even if I close out of this app, what's great is as soon as you open it, you're back inside the account, logged in automatically. Of course, this is Wedding Venues Official. This is who's bringing you the app. You can go straight to the channel, watch free wedding venue tips. So if you get bored. But without further ado, I'll show you how to create your first wedding budget, your first budget for the wedding day that's coming up soon in your life. You just tap Create New Budget here. It'll populate your budget. You can swipe here to delete budgets if you want, or what we're going to do instead here is just tap on this to go ahead and get started. So we'll create a custom budget plan for you. So you'll tell us a little bit about yourself. You'll put your last name. So I'll put my last name here just for example. Total target budget, let's say $30,000. All right, so according to this is an average budget, matches national average. And then how many guests? Let's say 200, man. I don't know, 200 guests. Okay, I'm thinking big, right? Been thinking about it. I want to spend $30,000, and I have 200 guests. So with 200 guests, we decided, hey, we think if you have a budget of $30,000, you could probably afford about $35 per plate. So if you have 200 guests, you want to be thinking about spending $7,000 on food, and if you update this, let's say you wanted to spend, or let's say you actually don't have 200 guests. Let's say the realistic number is 150. So if I have 150 guests, that's how much I'll spend. Or better yet, let's say we thought it was 30,000, but the bride's family wants to spend, X amount, and then the groom's family wants to spend a certain amount too. So you put them together, y'all realize, hey, we actually have more money than we thought. We have 40,000. So good news. You can afford $45 per plate. And then let's say that estimated guest count, we really figured out it was 175 guests. And it'll go ahead and tell us how much we can expect to spend on our food. So that's all right on the first page. Next page, planning status. Where are we at? Venue's booked. I've booked my venue. We're going to be getting married at 80 Oaks. So I got my venue picked out, and then what do we want? Do we want a DJ, a live band, a friend, do it yourself? Let's go with live band. That sounds like fun. That's kind of what we're thinking on the moment. Things may change. You never know what you might do. But it goes ahead and gets you thinking about, what do you want to do for music? What do you want to do for some of these things? How do you want to capture the moment? You want to just have a photographer, a videographer? I'd say both. Let's do both. Bar, I don't really need a bar. But if you need one, we have this option as well, so we can factor that into your total budget to help you plan accordingly. Tap next. Final details. Let's factor in this venue. How much did you spend? Spent $7,500. And then we'll calculate the budget. And there we go. So we've got catering, venue, live band, florals, your planner and coordinator, and everything right here on this main page. So, and I can see, I've got a planned amount that I've spent. And so far I've spent 19%. So far I've spent 19% of my budget. But, as you can tell, I've still got 81% to go. I've got plenty of room to spend more money and plenty of room to think about spending. So from here, what I can do is I can expand any of these. Let's say for catering, I want to expand this, look at this. We can change our percentage. So I can see, hey, maybe I want to spend more, or maybe I don't want to have to spend as much. Maybe I booked a catering vendor and, turns out they can do it for less than I thought. So you can update this as well and change the amount in here. And we can always undo changes and we can go back to where we were. But from this as well, venue, I want to kind of put it in some details about this. I know I spent $7,500 on my venue, but I like to put the venue name in here, so I can do that here. And then I can put that amount that I spent, and then I can add it as an expense. And you know what? I'm done. Like I know what I've spent for my venue, and I can actually go ahead and mark this as complete. And as you can see now, everything is in green. It's saved to the cloud. So even when I leave the app, it'll still be there. So yeah, and that's one of the great things about this is just being able to see at a glance what you have, what you're spending money on. And let's say, you found out, too, just how much, like maybe you want to know how to get to these things. How do I add stuff? How do I delete stuff? Let's say let's say, I don't need this category, for example, the miscellaneous. Well, I can swipe here to the right and I can delete it here. But I can also tap edit up top, and then I can go through all of these and I can delete or reorder. So I could go in here and I could mark that as complete if I wanted to mark it as complete, or I could just go in here and delete it. And then let's say I like this, list here, and I like how it's organized with my most expensive things here. But let's say I want venue to be up top. So I can drag things around here, and I can keep in mind what I got. And maybe I want to really be thinking about my photographer. I'm about to hire a photographer. So I like to be able to see that up front, so that way I can be thinking about it. And I also want to be thinking about my videographer. So let's move those two up, and that way we can see them. And when I'm finished, I can just tap done. And just like that, saves everything to the cloud. And then I'm good to go. So let's say, we want to see how this looks. Maybe I want to share this, with a family member or a friend. I can go ahead and tap in the top right corner, and we can go ahead and share. This is a PDF, so I can tap share PDF, and immediately it'll pull up. And I can even, airdrop this or text it to somebody. In this case here, we're just going to open it in our preview, so that way we can go ahead and see. And as you can see, it already has everything in here. It's even got my venue, and it shows my planned amount, how much I spent, and then if I had any money I saved from that, it'll all calculate it right there. And of course, this is something you can share with anyone, anytime. And the other great thing too is you can import budgets. So, one thing we'll show you too is I'll send you a budget in a moment, Carson, and you'll open it on your phone and then show me what it's like, man, and we can show how that feature works as well. So another cool feature with the wedding day budget calculator is you can also add new vendors. Here at the bottom, we have a button where you can add a new vendor. You can also tap the plus button up top, and you can add your new vendor that way as well. So let's go ahead and add. For this one, I needed to just add a new vendor. We'll just say new vendor. But whatever it would be, you can name it here. And then the amount of money you're going to spend, you can put in here. So we'll put $500 for the sake of this example. And now, see, we deleted that miscellaneous category. Now I've planned about 99% of my $40,000. So I still have some money left over, but, I'm making use of that, miscellaneous expense category that the calculator thought of for me. And, there's a new vendor I need to add. And then if I need to add some expenses, we can add the expense here. And then if I wanted to add another expense, I can do that here. And then I can tap done. And then the great thing about this is, I can go down here and I can see right at a glance, there's my new vendor and there's my expenses. Another way you can get here by tapping and then tapping view details. But you can also get here by swiping and tapping this blue button here to add expenses. Another thing you can do at any time, you can also tap the orange button and you can edit the vendor details. You can also, on any expanded tab, by just tapping it twice, you can edit the vendor details this way as well. Let's say with this new vendor we've added, let's say we want to go ahead and mark this as complete. I know I've spent everything I need to. All you need to do is swipe to the left and tap the green check mark button, and it'll save everything. And then look down here, and we now have a complete vendor. Another way to do the same thing, let's undo that. Another way to do the exact same thing if you want to mark items as complete is you can go here to the detail view, and you can tap mark as complete down here, and it will update and do the same thing. Okay, another thing, if you wanted to see at a glance, let's say we want to expand our views. I'll show how to do this. We'll go to another account real quick. So another thing you can do, I have this budget pulled up. As you can see, we've got some wiggle room, some stuff we can still plan in that $30,000 budget. And I've spent a good bit here too. And as you can tell, I've already planned a lot of things, from my coordinator, my DJ, to a lot of things here already. Let's say I wanted to go ahead and just see, everything that I have at a glance. I can tap up top this button and I can expand this view so that I can see, within here what all I've spent. So again, another great feature. And you can also expand each tab by simply tapping on them, and you can expand or collapse by tapping the edges. Or you can go up here and you can expand or collapse them all up here. Another cool feature that you want to know about how to share, right? Let's say you're a wedding planner, or let's say you're just a bride or groom and you want to share with your wedding planner or share with friends and family or your significant other, even just your budget. And let's say you want to open this budget and it's not something like the PDF where you're just sharing the PDF. Let's say you wanted to export this to open in someone else's account. So I can go up here, I can export, and I can text my friend Carson here, send him my budget, and it'll send him the budget. So now he's got the budget. We can go in here and I can actually find right away exactly how much he has. He can see exactly how much I have spent on each category. So we'll go to my budget I just sent him right here, and we'll open in wedding budget. And just like that, we go here, and right away, there it is. So he can see right away, just like in here, each category from catering to other things. I can tell you've had everything organized by price. Very nice. But we can always go back to custom, and just like my custom order is here with venue and everything else, you can see the custom order shows up same way on here too. So it even remembers the order of everything. And then just like with the other thing I showed you with PDF, he can also export this as PDF as well, send it to a friend, or update things and then send it back to me. So, let's say you have a budget and, you want to share with a friend, you want to share with somebody their budget. Let's say let's just pretend Carson's my wedding planner. That's, I know he didn't really plan weddings, but let's just pretend like, this is it. And so I sent him my budget and everything I've budgeted so far. And let's say Carson's updating some things. So I'll show you what that looks like, like maybe he wants to send me that back so I can update mine. Let's say he wants to go in here and says, hey, you know what? We figured out we can save you some money. I went ahead and added, some different things. Let's say he said, hey, I found you a better deal for this. And, instead of Carson, we're going with some other DJ, and I haven't had time to go in the app, but we want to update, everything, right? So I'm just being silly here, but seriously, so simple, we're able to update the detailed expenses, and then he could say, hey, we also did a speaker rental, and, we're able to do that and, update the details. And then we can see here, we go in here, we have the updated changes, some other guy, speaker rental, and I'm down here. If I go to DJ, it's got Carson Bruce. So as you can tell, we went from spending $1,200 to spending $1,100. Well, he can export this now, and I can import this on mine. And you can even airdrop. So we'll do airdrop for the sake of just making things simple. So we'll show how to do this as well. That way, you can easily just airdrop stuff. And just like that, you can tap accept. There it is. Open in wedding budget. And just like that, we have our budget. And, it won't mess up everything. It'll just add as a new budget when I open in the app. So I can see on my new budget, there it is. But I can go to my budget I had originally where we have him. And I can import that as well, and it will update to the new budget. So, this is that budget that was sent. So now if we go here, we can see now we've got the same thing on my budget page. So I can update and literally just import the budget like so.
All right, guys, again, Carson Bruce with Andrew Brumbeloe, app developer of Wedding Day Budget Calculator. I hope you guys have downloaded it for your iPhone, and I hope you're using it. Let us know where you're using it, whether
let us know.
You're in Alabama, Tennessee, or elsewhere.
Wherever.
Let us know if this app is beneficial. If you've enjoyed these features, you like it, let us know what you like. If you dislike it, if you have a suggestion, let us know. Again, This is not a full-on planning app that helps you
We want to know, how can we improve? This is just the start,
Just the start.
there's so many features, so many things we wanted to make sure we included on day one, from things like we talked about exporting PDFs to share.
Yeah.
And then also being able to import a budget, to see, what's that budget look like? Maybe you have an account, maybe your significant other's got an account and y'all want to share with each other, or you want to share this with your planner.
Yeah.
So we think this is just a really helpful tool, and we wanted to do two things: save time and help people save money.